Last time on Sean's Toys and Collectibles. There it is on the shelf. And there's room for a couple more, but I think I'll need one more, the extra hanger. Alright, now I will take a picture of the Motu Hot Wheels I have so far. So you have He-Man and Skeletor. So there we go. These are probably 2021. Again, dollar store ones, but that's okay. There we go. I have a Mutant Mayhem Donatello, so I might eventually look for the other three. And here are the other four, ranging between 2020 and 2022. Well, actually that's 2019. So, those 7 will fit on the other hanger. All right. So there you go. There's the other one, the third hanger. And here's a group picture of all 3. There. And the Mutant Mayhem is in the front, so I know exactly what to work on next. And I still have room for 1 or 2 more hangers worth of Hot Wheels, but there's no more loose ones to put up there. And now, the continuation. Now, I bought these Plano cases when I first started collecting Hot Wheels again, back in 2018. Way back in the Alberta days. And of course, I've kept all the barriers, every single one, so that I can subdivide these compartments appropriately to account for the size of the car. Now, I'm going to have to put the cars in this way to make sure, but when it comes to the Masters of the Universe car, which you see right here, I'm going to put it up on the Masters of the Universe shelf, which is right there. And that has my childhood lunchbox and my childhood Viewmaster slides as well. But everything else should be able to fit in here. Now, you're going to have to figure out how to divide it, of course, because you can see how the dividers are at specific points, which are actually longer than the car itself. So I'm not sure how efficient this is going to be. Because you see, it has room to roll it around. And if that's true, if you can only fit about 3 of them in there, that's not going to help much, now is it? That's not going to help at all. They're because if you can only fit 3, then you can only fit 12 in total. And as you see, there's almost 12 in total just on this one shelf. So that's actually not going to work. Let me check that out. Tackle box. None of that was even recording. Anyway, here's the toolbox. Tackle box. Here's the 80s trays with the 80s cars, at least some of them. So what I have to do now is I have to get all the rest of the 80s cars I have and put them in these trays, and take all the cars that aren't 80s cars that are on those trays and put them back in that tackle box. The interesting thing is some of the cars are from the 80s, like this one. In fact, a lot of them are. But you only have so much room, so there's only so much I can do. There are a few vehicles that can't fit in the trays, so they have to be extracted and put back in the tackle box at the bottom. It's no problem. It'll all work out eventually. Okay, so I think I've got everything out that'll fit in the trays. So now it's just time to fit everything in. The new stuff. So let's see here. So that's an 80s car, mostly. Check the wheels for sure. See, that's a new one. You don't want that in there. That's a new one. You don't want that in there. So let's see what else is in here. That's a new one. That's a new one. That's a new one. That's a new one. And so is... so's that. So they all go in the tackle box along the bottom level so they won't be interfered with by the closing of anything. Ah, look. My badge from 2019 Comic-Con, the Laval one, first edition. The one with the Boba Fett actor, Daniel Logan. All right. So I can start putting these in the trays now, like so. Only the 80s ones, because I recognize those from a mile away. Now let's go through all these. Nothing in here from the 80s. I'm looking for those specific wheels. So I will arrange them into their tackle box, make sure it closes, and then we'll look at the new set of 80s trays. I'll be back. When it comes to the trays, I'm starting to have to put some cars on top of each other, but as long as they don't interfere with the closing, then I should be able to get the tackle box closed in time properly. Well, let me see here. Wait a minute. You see? There's a whole section that you can fit in there. Now, it's not a Plano box. It's too wide for that. But the thing is, you can actually fit some cars in here that are on top of each other. I mean, I don't like to do that, but in this case, it appears I have little choice. Don't worry, they're all newer cars in there. Okay, good. All right, so you found it. So now you close the case carefully. There we are. There's still room at the bottom to add more. And then you bring up the side pieces. And there you go. So I'll bring out the trays and we'll put them on the trays. All right, here we go. So the organization begins now. You've got 3 trays in total and 3 sets of 1980s cars. So I have 2 Auburns. Because of their bumpers, they have trouble fitting. But as long as you don't have to have, it won't interfere with something on top of it, good. And now I'm going to have to add a few to my other section, which is over here. I had to remove the transport truck from there so everything would fit. So I should theoretically be able to fit 4 cars in place. You know, like I did on the back there. So let's see here. It's a bit of difficulty, so why don't you move this? Oop, why don't you move this one there? Come on. Just got to find the proper way to fit. I mean, I got the doozy in there before. They just won't fit 4 in a case. So I'm going to take out the one car that is not related to mine. So there's how it stands now. And then just add them to here. Because none of these are mine anymore. Even though it's a white-walled one. That's not the one I had for my childhood. This is a shark car in far better shape than a friend got me. Here's like, what, a fire truck or something. And then you just add in the various cars bit by bit. Even the green one. That's a fastback car, but as you can see, it is older. I can tell because of the fastback wheels. Classic Caddy 1936. Good. Not all of them fit flat in there, that's true. Spoiler Sport fits in just fine. Police car. A Jaguar, not the silver chrome Jaguar from my childhood. A plainer edition. And a... what does that say? I can't tell, it's all in red. But it's definitely an 80s car. It has a full metal body. Alright, so that didn't quite fill 2 of them. And then we'll take a look at what's in the other one. Okay, so there's the one tray. Put it in second tray. So you don't need the third tray yet. It will come up later when it's time to find more cars. Because every time I go to the flea market and the antique shop, which I will in 5 days, I'll find more. So there's an Auburn. There's an Auburn. So I have now 2 different variations of the Auburn compared to the green one I had when I was a kid. I have, what is this one? Ah, doozy. Now I have a light green one. Green with light trim. I have a fastback car. I believe it says front running. Here we go. With those fastback wheels, yes. I have another one with fastback wheels, which looks like that Cobra. Very 80s car. Almost has a Dodge Shadow type look to it. You have a kind of pickup truck. It doesn't say what it is, but it's in quite good shape. You have some kind of racing car with fastback wheels again, almost like a Buick Racer. Mountain Dew, see? Racing Stalker, there you go. And then you have 6 variations of the the hot rod. This one's actually from McDonald's, as you can see from the side. Then you have one from my childhood. In fact, it's a more intact version of the one from my childhood, because the one from my childhood actually had a broken windshield. So you've got 2 of the same type, but they're not quite the same. Chrome exhaust, black painted exhaust. Here's one that's, oh my gosh, it's also McDonald's. It's in a bit of better shape. And the yellow's brighter. Oh my god, they're exactly the same. Huh. So if anyone needs an extra one, I have one, and I have 2 of the hot rods as well. And this is like a hot rod. But that's a 2003, but I just kept it in that tray because it matched everything else. This is what I have to do. Like, this is my childhood tray, number 1 of 3. Even though that's not one of my childhood cars. There's some more silver chromes. And Corvette and everything. And a yellow variant of the Woody. That's the 30s Woody. And then the final tray. Oh, the final tray is not even 80s cars. It's modern ones. Except for one. Except for one, and this is very important. Paid $60 for this, I think, at the time. But this is an intact 1968 red line. Original 16 hot heap. As you can read there. This is an original red line with full interior, unlike the other one I found. So that's why it stays there. But yes, eventually I'm going to take all the modern cars out of here and replace them with their 80s equivalents, so that these dollar store trays and these matchbox trays or whatever remain part of the cars collection for the 1980s. So there, and there. So that is the Hot Wheels corner for now.